Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our look at the Scalebreaker DLC PTS patch notes, and we are in the second week of updates. Now, week 2 is generally a lot lighter than PTS week 1. There's definitely less than the 50 pages we saw in the week before, but the changes here are pretty significant, so I will be covering them all. Now, if you want to go back and review the week 1 changes, or if you want to check out the new item sets or class balance updates, I have videos for you on all those topics. Just make sure to check out the Scalebreaker playlist here on my channel. Of course, if you enjoy the video today, don't forget to crush that like button for me. And make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more updates and build videos coming up soon. So jumping right in here, I am going to focus on the combat section and the itemization. So looking at class updates, just a few tweaks here. Under the Sorcerer, we've got a fix for Overload. The heavy attack from this ability can no longer be interrupted. Sounds good. Under Templar, we have a long-awaited fix for Puncturing Strikes. This should affect both the Magicka and Stamina morphs. So this ability and its morphs will now use an older version of camera controls going all the way back to Murkmire, and this should help if you're in gameplay mode. Now, there was some issue with the animations getting stuck on your character. If you're using the Puncturing Strikes ability, hopefully that is finally resolved. If so, that's an amazing fix. And then under Dawn's Wrath, we have a tweak here to Living Dark. Remember, this is the healing morph that was, well, I don't know if I would say busted, but it was strong for sure. So they reduced the healing from this ability by 55%. The heal is now equal to the first tick of unstable core, but it can happen twice as frequently, so it will allow for more effective power if you're constantly attacked. So apparently the heal being so strong was a bug, and that's now fixed. Oops. Moving on to weapon skills. Under Resto, we have another tweak to Healing Ward. Remember, they are pretty much reworking this skill completely, making it less of an all-or-nothing kind of burst heal and kind of, I don't know, dragging out the heal a little bit more. So they increased the heal strength to 100% of the shield's remaining strength, up from 25%, but it can no longer critically strike. This will continue to bypass Battle Spirit, so that is pretty interesting. It looks like they're still looking at this and investigating the strength, so there could be more tweaks to this coming, so keep an eye out for that if you are still using Healing Ward. Bow got a quick fix for Endless Hail. This should now deal all 13 ticks of damage. Under One Hand and Shield, another bug fix here for Shield Wall. Fixed an issue where if you're holding block, you are unable to activate ground targeted abilities. That's kind of weird, but it's fixed now. Under Armor skills, our Medium Armor Evasion. This ability and the Shuffle Morph will no longer grant Major Expedition when you take area damage. So previously, I believe it was 1 or 2 seconds of Major Expedition you got on your character for free just for taking AoE damage. Those secondary effects are now gone. Still going to be a strong ability. They still reduced the cost, which I like. They upped the immunity for Shuffle, which is very good. And Elude here still has the Major Expedition. So if you're wanting to try this on your medium armor build, you can still get this by choosing Elude as the morph, but it will no longer trigger off of area effect dots. So I know some people were concerned about that, especially in PvP and Battlegrounds, for example. There's tons of AoE dots just all over the ground, making this pretty much free Major Expedition. So apparently those will no longer proc this. It's going to be limited to basic AoE effects. Abilities like Warden's Subterranean Assault, Templar Biting Jabs, I'm assuming those will still count for this effect and still grant the Major Expedition. So then under Soul Magic, a lot of people were planning builds already for this, and it's already been tweaked. So Soul Trap, this ability and Consuming Trap will now only hit 1 enemy instead of 2. So there still is Soul Splitting Trap, which can hit multiples. This ability will now target 6 enemies instead of 3. The radius remains 5 meters, which will make it difficult to hit the max target, which is the intent. We will see a change further down in the item sets having to do with this. So stay tuned for that if you're planning a Soul Trap build. Moving on to itemization next. Quite a few changes here. First, under general, we have a change to protective. A lot of people are using this jewelry trait now, both in PvP and PvE. It seemed to be pretty popular in the past few months. And you know, if it's popular, it's going to get nerfed. And that's exactly what they did here. They reduced the trait value to 1190 at Legendary, down from 1844. So quite a sizable nerf there. Keep that in mind if you're planning protective builds in the future. You might want to switch that jewelry trait out for something else. So moving on to item sets now. Most of these changes have to do with major evasion. Apparently that buff was not working well with the item sets. So you'll see that here in most of the changes. Adept Rider, major evasion will now properly apply. Also, we're aware that the nature of the set is not ideal for its proc conditions, so that may be getting adjusted in the future. Does anybody use Adept Rider? Hopefully they tweak that and make it more useful. Gossamer, the major evasion will now properly apply on Gossamer. Remove the 10% proc chance, so it will proc 100% of the time, but reduce the duration to 2 seconds from 6 seconds, so that's pretty short. Grace of Glom, which probably Grace of Gloom is what they mean there. Major evasion will now properly apply to AoE damage, sounds good. Remove the proc chance again, I like that. They reduced the healing down, but again, 100% proc chance is nice. Removed the 500 millisecond cooldown from the heal proc, sounds good. Hisbark, major evasion will now properly apply. Oblivion's Foe, so this was the Soul Trap set that I talked about earlier. This set now grants up to a 1000 weapon and spell damage buff to your Soul Trap ability, rather than increasing its damage by 100%. So you Soul Trap builders, make sure you keep that in mind when you're looking at this set. I know a lot of people have looked at that in the past week. Pirate Skeleton, this is a big one. Pirate Skeleton did get nerfed. Reduced the duration of the proc to 10 seconds, down from 12. Increased the cooldown to 20 seconds, up from 15. The minor defile is now major defile. Wow, they nerfed that every possible way that they could. Reduced duration, increased cooldown, minor defile is now major defile. That's a bit much, I think. Let's read the developer comment. These changes were done to adhere the set to our itemization standards and was prioritized over others as a large call out by the community. Far too much protection with too little drawback. Okay, so they did it. That's a major change. I don't know what you guys think about that. Let me know in the comments how you feel about the Pirate Skeleton Monster Helm change. That's a big one for sure. So Spectre's Eye, another major evasion set, now properly applies to area effect damage. Increase the cooldown, but increase the duration. Okay. And then Thunderous Volley, fix an issue where the bonus could double dip and increase faster. Fix an issue where Endless Hail was not getting the bonus of the final tick. Okay. So lots of updates to major evasion sets. Of course, we have the nerf to Pirate Skeleton, and then the changes to Shuffle, changes to Protective Trait. So quite a lot of major changes in this week 2 patch. Let me know what you guys are thinking about this in the comments section. If you enjoyed the video today, as always, don't forget to crush that like button for me. Absolutely helps the channel grow, and I appreciate you guys so much for doing that. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you are not already, for lots more Scalebreaker videos coming out very soon. And until then, thanks for watching, and I'll see you around in the next video.